All right, folks. Can somebody go ahead and pop in the chat panel and let me know if you can hear me? Having a little bit of technical difficulties trying to get organized this morning. So if you can hear me, go ahead and chat in the chat panel on the side. Let me know. Okay, looks like there's a couple people raising their hands. That's good. All right. We're going to spend just a few minutes to let everybody get logged in and get your computers up and running. Lindsay and I are going to start answering questions here in just a moment. Okay, and also I'm going to, how do I pause the? All righty, so it looks like we've got the audio and the presentation stuff all sorted out here. So Lindsay and I are going to begin in just a moment. The purpose of this session today is a live question and answer session. So over here in the chat panel, if you guys have any questions that you have, anything that you want to go over and discuss in this session, we're going to be going through the Easy Storage support website, and we're also going to go over some tips and tricks showing you through the demo site over here as well. So feel free to log on and start asking questions over here in the side panel. If not, we're going to get started in just a moment, and we'll start with a couple of easy questions like website editing. Okay, so it looks like we've got quite a few attendees, so welcome to the Client Success Summit. Today, Lindsay and I are going to be answering questions. So my name's Caitlin. I'm a member of the support team over here at Easy Storage Solutions. I've probably answered your phone calls a couple of times.
And I'm Lindsay. I'm the support team manager. I have a great team that works here that, like Caitlin said, when you call in, you get one of them, and we're always happy to help.
Yeah, so today looks like we're going to start off with some of the recent enhancements, things that have been added to the software over the last 6 months. So to start with, I know that one of the biggest features, one of the newest features that came out recently was our promotions. So I'm going to go ahead and log into our management software and just log into the manager dashboard. On the promotions, you can see software updates that we've had, but there's, let me pull it up. Sorry, guys. A lot more software updates than I thought. Never mind. Let's just pull it up on the support website. Bear with me, folks. This is the first time that I'm using this platform, and so I am still getting all of my ducks in a row. But over here in the software, the promotions is located underneath the setup tab. So under setup and promotions, we can add automatic promotions or apply discounts to customers. There's 3 different ways that a promotion can be added to a customer's account. So with new promotions, you can have a manual promotion, which this one has to be added by sales associates or managers. So this is going to be the option if you want the manager to be the one to give your customer the discount. There's also a promotion code, so a customer can type in a coupon code or a promo to be able to take advantage of that promotion. And then there's automatic promotions that as long as the customer is renting the size of unit that the promotion applies to, they're going to get the discount. With the promotion system, It allows us to set up specific promotions and have a start date and an end date. So if you want this to be something that is only offered for a short period of time, like a seasonal promotion that you can offer from the beginning of the year through the first 3 months, you could have the start date listed as today's date and then the end date listed at the end of your promotion season. After this date, it will no longer be available as an option to apply to a customer's rental. The promotion system is really great for new move-ins, especially people that are wanting to fill up their facility and offer that incentive to their customers so that they can get a great price on the move-in. It's a really great way for you to streamline that process and make it automatic. We can apply to certain units, or we can apply it to all of our units. And that promotion is available as either a percentage discount or a dollar amount that can be taken off of the promo or off of the rental price. With the promotion system, you can also delay the promo. So instead of applying it to the move-in or the first billing cycle, you can delay it so that it hits later on in the customer's rental. So if your incentive requires that the customer stay with you for at least 3 billing cycles before they get the discount, you can make that happen right over here. And then promotion, this is when the promotion expires off of the customer's account. A billing cycle that lasts for a promotion that lasts for 1 billing cycle will be applied to their move-in and will automatically fall off after that, and then they'll go back to their regular price. You can also apply that for more than 1 month, so if you want to give them a discount for more than 1 billing cycle, you can go ahead and adjust that setting here and create the promotion. Other than that, were there any questions about the promotion system or anything that I moved too quickly through that people might want to discuss? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay, so with the promotion system, once you've created a promotion, it'll be visible on the promo page. I didn't actually create anything here, so I apologize. Let me go back. And you'll be able to see those promotions listed here once they're created.
Does the end date have to be the day after the promo ends or the day of?
The day of. Yep, not the day after. So the way that our system is designed, if a promotion if a promotion lasts through the end of the month, for example, February 28th is the last day that you want the promotion to apply to a customer's account, put February 28th as the end date. Midnight on that date, the system will go ahead and disable that promotion so that it will not be applicable to anybody on March 1st, but it'll let people use that promotion all the way up until end of business day on the 28th. Perfect. And thank you for that question. We really appreciate the feedback because it makes it a lot easier for us to know what you guys are interested in learning and what features you guys need over here at Easy Storage.
So one of the other updates is that customers can now edit their profile information. That is a setting that the facility has to enable under setup and settings, and then down under other, if you want your customers to be able to edit their profile information, you do have to have that setting enabled. So prior to this update, they could log in and they could change their email address and, request a new password, but they were not able to update like phone number, address, any of that. They had to contact the facility. But with that enabled, they can now change that information themselves without having to contact you.
We do have some more questions.
Okay.
Tracking on the promos.
Okay. So let's back up over to the promotion. It looks like we had moved on a little bit too fast, so my apologies there. What was the other question we had?
Many folks offer 1 month free with a year paid in full. How would you run this as a promotion?
That's actually a really good question because that would not be a promotion. That would be a different billing cycle. So in our software, let me actually change one of my settings here so that I can get myself a pointer. I can't find my pointer, that's okay. So in the software, instead of adding it as a promotion, this one would be better as a billing cycle or another plan that we offer as just a standard rental. Promotions apply a discount to a billing cycle, but what you're trying to do is give a customer a free billing cycle. So instead, if we go here into the unit types section, this is usually where we have all of the information about the rental. So right over here on this edit link, you can modify the start date, or not the start date, sorry. You can modify the original rental amount. Over here under edit pricing is where we can add those additional price plans that would offer 1 month free. So when we're building in a promotion where a customer gets 1 month free for paying 12 months ahead of time, we would change the billing cycle here to 12 months. And then we're going to do an override price. And instead of charging the customer 12 months worth of rent, we're going to take this $45, whoops, times 11 months. And we're going to charge the customer $495 for their 12-month rental. That has the price already built, or the free month already built into the price. So once the customer pays this $495, it'll advance their billing date 12 months. The free month will be included and everything will stay organized on the customer's account. You can also make this plan only available to managers. So instead of the customer being able to choose this plan online, the manager would be the one that would need to apply that discount or promotion to the customer's account.
There's a few questions now.
Okay. Where are they coming in at? I'm not seeing them on mine.
So one of them is, would you use promotion to give a discount to a single customer?
It depends on the situation. The promotions is a really good way of giving a discount to a customer, especially if you need that discount to fall off or expire at some point. So yes, if you want the system to automatically make that promotion expire off of the account and revert the customer's price back to their original 1 month price, yes, you would want to use the promotion system, not the billing cycle. A billing cycle plan, this is indefinite. It stays on the customer's account until you go back in and modify the billing cycle. A promotion has an expiration, so it will automatically expire at some point, and the customer will go back to their regular rental rate. There we go. Perfect. All right, somebody has asked, and this one I'm actually going to go over and discuss right away because Joe Miller does not actually work for our company. I know that a lot of you have been getting emails from a character named Joe Miller asking you about domain renewal. That is a phishing notice that is coming through your website. So on all of these websites, if we go under website and view site, this is the customer facing website that your customers normally see and interact with. On this site, there is a contact us page, and the contact us page is a way for customers or anybody on the web to be able to send you an email or a message without actually getting your contact information. They can go in here and fill out their info like so and submit a message to the facility, and that message comes through as an email with the Easy Storage logo at the bottom of the email. The logo is not connected to Joe Miller. That is just because he's sending you a message through the contact form of the website. And I know it's caused a little bit of a headache for some people because he's been incessant, but it's a phishing notice. It's just spam. In those situations, we recommend do not click on those links. Do not provide them any information. Just throw them in the trash and you shouldn't have any problems. If for any reason you did click on that link or you did provide any information to Joe Miller, give us a call, let us know, and we'd be happy to remedy the situation and work with you to make sure that there's no bigger problems going on. Perfect.
Somebody put in here that they want us to go over, where did it go? The difference between the mass edit rental price tool and the rate management tool.
Oh, okay. So rate management and mass edit rental prices are connected. The rate management allows the facility to set specific rules that will, what's the best way of saying this? Specific rules that will send a reminder or a report to the facility owner, and it will suggest a rate increase, either on empty units or on full units. The rate increase for empty units is going to be based off of the occupancy, so how many of those units are full. The rate increase for customers or occupied units is going to go off of the days that the customer has been in the unit. The rate management is really just a way for you to evaluate your rates and to suggest a price increase and to follow through with that price increase. With the rate management enabled, we would choose a day of the month for these reminders to be sent to us. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and say I want them sent to me on the 15th of the month so that I've got enough time to get the notice prepared and sent to my customers if I do want to go forward with a rate increase. But this will just be the day that the report gets sent to me so that I can review whether or not I want to raise rates on my customers or my empty units. For those unit types or the units that are empty, we're going to go off of the occupancy. So when we add our rule, we can increase the amount or increase the percentage of our rental rate when occupancy has met or exceeded a certain percent. So for me, I'm going to say that on my 10 by, on my 15 by 5 units, that as soon as the occupancy reaches 75%, I want to raise the rate on all of my empty units by an additional $5 per month. Once we add that rule, this report will send me a list of all of the units that are more than 75% occupied, and it will suggest a rate increase of $5 per month on those units. You can have separate rules for separate units. So if I wanted to do a different increase amount for my 5 by 10s, I could go in here and set a different rule for them and just do, a smaller increase when it's met or exceeded a certain percentage. But that allows us to control the price on the empty units and to raise the rates as our occupancy increases. The second section down below here, the rental price change rules. This is really the ones that are going to affect your current rentals. So people that are already occupying units. The advance notice is how many days before the customer's upcoming due date that you need to give them before you notify them about a rate increase. Most states require at least a 30 days notice, but that does vary from state to state. So before we do a rate increase, we do recommend that you reach out to your state self-storage association or reach out to a lawyer in your area that is familiar with the state lien and auction laws. Price change laws, not lien and auction. So on those price changes, if we give our customers 30 days advance notice, we can also go in and set the additional rules down here. I like to keep my prices to the nearest dollar. I don't like dealing with pennies and cents. And so if you check that box, no matter what the street rate is, even if we're calculating it based off of a percentage, it will keep it to an even dollar amount. The rental prices can exceed street rate. This one will allow your customers on an individual basis to pay more than your advertised street rate. So if your 5 by 15 units are normally going for $75 a month, but you already have a customer paying that price, the next time that they're up for an increase, if you allow the rental price increase to exceed the street rate, then that customer can potentially pay more than the $75 that you have that unit listed for. Once this report has been, or these rules have been created, the report will get emailed to you on whatever day of the month you have specified. For the customers, it's going to look very similar to the Mass Edit rental prices screen because that's what it's connected to. Once you review those changes, if you want to move forward with those changes and if you do want to increase the rates, that's where the Mass Edit rental prices comes into play. And on this page, this is where we can actually raise the rates for all of our customers and automate the notices that are sent to our customers. So things like the email and the text message or the printed letter that gets sent to notify them ahead of their new rate, and that can all be automated here by the system. So we're going to do rent updated at least, we'll say 3 months ago. I want my customers to have been with me for at least 3 months before they get a rate increase. So I'm going to do 3 months ago. I'm also going to do unit types all, and then I'm going to increase my monthly price by an amount of $5. And I want my customers to have at least 30 days notice before their upcoming due date so that they're prepared for this rate increase. Once I've put my filters in here, I'm going to click the begin button and it will let me preview my customers before I actually submit the increase. So this is where I'll get a list of all of the customers that are eligible for the increase, and the proposed increase will be listed over here on the right-hand side. If you don't want to raise rates for your customers, uncheck the box. That will eliminate them from the list. If you want to raise their rates, but you want it to be different than the monthly price listed here, just delete that price and type in the correct amount, and the system will automatically adjust for it when it's sending the notice. And then down here at the bottom of the email, this is where we can schedule our email, our text message, or our printed letter that are automated by the system. And it will send a notice of scheduled rate change. It's one of the automatic templates that's installed in the software. And we can review that here in just a moment. But that will send the customer an email, a text message, or a printed letter letting them know about the upcoming rate change.
Are you done with that one?
Almost, yep. Sorry, I was reading through, just making sure that there weren't any follow-up questions because I saw mass edit in the side panel here. Anyway, on the rate increase, last thing here is the change date and the notification date. These can get confusing to customers because it's not listed on the customer's actual due date. The reason that the change date is ahead of their actual due date is because of your billing period. If you bill your customers 7 days before their due date, we need to make sure that the system updates and changes their rate before we send out that invoice reminder. So that's why the change date is always going to coincide with your billing period, whatever period you have specified over here on the setup and settings page under billing period. The mass edit rental prices also connects to the notice of scheduled rate change. So down here where it's talking about the email, the text message, or the printed letter, these are the notice of scheduled rate change template. So under email, text, and print and templates, this little guy right here is the one that is automatically sent to customers. We can add additional information to this notice. So if you want to come in and explain to your customers why you're doing a rate increase, that information can be added right here in the notice. Try not to modify these tags or placeholders too much. These placeholders are fill in the blanks that will pull information directly from the customer's profile. So we don't want to modify those too much. Otherwise, the format of the letter could be a little bit wonky when your customer gets it. Okay.
There's a question, just the rate. Does the rate management automatically create a rate management batch for us, or is it just a report?
It will not create the rate management batch for you. It will send you an email and it will ask you if you want to create that batch with the information on the report. So if you approve the rate increase, then a batch will be created. If you don't approve the increase, no batch will be visible because there's nothing for us to schedule in the system. Leah, looks like she also asked a question. I'm very interested in using this tool to manage my rate increases. I just want to confirm that this tool is not going to automatically change any rates. Yes, that is correct. It does not automatically change any rates. It will send you a report and propose a rate change to you. You will still need to approve that rate change. And then yes, you'll have to take additional steps or additional actions for that rate change to occur. Joe McKeechin, he had a question about a $25 discount for customer referrals. Customer referrals and discounts like that are better added as a credit on the customer's account. That way you don't have to modify the billing cycle. You don't have to worry about changing the customer's price plan. So for instance, if I had a customer and we'll just say Alf Goldner here, he had rented a unit with me and I wanted to apply a $25 referral credit. At the very top of this customer's profile, there's an add credit button, and this add credit is like adding funds to a customer's account that will be applied to their upcoming invoices at a later date. So the $25 referral credit, just add it right here as a credit on the account and spell referral correctly. That's what spell check's for. And then this referral credit, this negative $25 will automatically be applied to the next bill due date on the customer's account. So when this customer gets invoiced for their $65 for March, 25 of that will already be paid and the customer will actually only owe $40 for the month of March because we have that credit applied to the account.
Somebody wanted us to go over custom widgets.
Custom widgets. Okay. Before we move on, were there any other questions that you had about the promotion system or the mass edit rental prices that you wanted to review? Okay. Jean asked, can you give owners advice on when to raise rates? Best advice that I can give you is when your business needs the additional income. There's a lot of things that you guys are going to be paying for to run your business, and if your operating costs are increasing, you're paying higher taxes, you're adding new features to your facility, offering new upgraded security, those are all great times to evaluate your rental rates. You guys are in the business to make money. You are business owners, and we definitely want to support you in doing that. Rate increases should not be something that terrify you or scare you or your customers. It's something that's part of the business, and we expect that people are going to be raising their rates over time. We want to make it as easy as we can for you and your customers, and we want to give them as much notice as we can. But ultimately, a good time to evaluate those rental rates is when you have changes to your operating costs or anytime your operating costs are going to be increasing. Okay, I'm not seeing any other questions come through about the rate management, so let's go ahead and review widgets on the website. Mary had a couple questions over there at Ennismore Storage about how to add or review custom widgets built into the website. So that's going to be under website and pages. The website tab, there's actually a couple of different sections here where you can edit the website, but the widgets that Mary's referring to, those are different sections that make up the home page, the tenant protection, the rent storage page. So if we look at our home page here, there's a list of current widgets that are installed on the home page. And these actually correspond with the different sections that you see on the Easy Storage website. So let me go back over and we'll do view site. So when we're looking at our widgets, we've got our image carousel with overlay text. And that's actually this first section right here on the home page of your website. The next one, the 2-column widget, is the 2 columns that you see right here, why use Easy Storage. The checklist is all the convenience and security you need with the checklist of items. So whatever list you have your widgets displayed in over here, that's the same order that they're going to show up here on your website. If you wanted to change how something was displayed, you can move your widgets and update. And that's also going to change the order that it's displayed on the website. These two flip-flopped when I did that. You can customize these widgets and you can add additional content to them by accessing them from the edit page. So once we click on, yeah, I've got way too many tabs open. Once we click on edit, we can modify the existing widgets by clicking on the edit buttons here, or if we need to add an additional section to our website, there's an add a widget feature down here. When we're editing a widget, it'll open up and it'll have pre-formatted content. So all of this is just drag and drop. Plug in your pictures by choosing files. You can add in additional text and content over here. But all of it is pre-formatted, so you don't really need to know anything about computer coding or programming or anything like that. You just plug in the information, and once you've got it entered, update your widget at the bottom of the screen, and it'll process those updates immediately, and you'll be able to see them reflected on the website. If you needed to add in additional content, these widgets down here already have everything pre-formatted for you. So for instance, if we wanted to do the contact form and add that to the website, it'll already have all of the information that needs to be added here and the content that we can add. So we can put in title, contact our facility, F-A-C-I-L-I-T-Y. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. And this is why I love spell check, and we would love to hear from you. And then you can say 123 Main Street, Anytown, USA, and create widget. Once you create the widget, you can also reorganize the order in which it's displaying. So that contact form, I don't want it to be at the very top of my website. That'll look a little funny to have the contact form right there at the top. So instead, I'm going to drag it down here towards the bottom of the page and then save. As soon as I hit that save button, it processes those changes so that I can go and take a look on my website. Ta-da! With the custom widgets, they also do give you a little bit of flexibility if you are tech savvy and you do know computer coding and you want to add customized content to your website. So on these widgets, if we click into things like the 2-column widget, there's also going to be an additional option right here in the content box where you can switch it over to HTML. You can embed HTML code. You can add interactive sections to your website. I know that there's a couple of other platforms like Facebook Messenger that you can add to your website so that people can message you directly through some of those other services. So if you have embed codes or anything that you want to add features, any features that you want included on your website, you can contact us at the support team and we would be happy to go over how to best implement that on your website. Or if we can't do it, we can get you over to the marketing department who is wonderful with that kind of stuff.
It looks like Leah asked or just mentioned that you've had issues changing the formatting of the words in your widgets. I've found that when you copy and paste from a document, it will bring over like background color and stuff like that. So that's where you can go into the HTML version and just take that, the background color out, and then it just goes back to a normal text.
Yep, because if you see when we switch it over into HTML view, these are those little tags that are going to cause the format to just be a little bit different. This is how we get the headers, the login links, things like that to work. So yeah, if you're copying and pasting information from a different platform over to Easy Storage, you can either come here into the HTML to customize the stuff that you're copying and pasting, or when you're copying and pasting, right-click with your mouse and paste as plain text. Pasting as plain text will only bring over the words, not all of the formatting behind them. So the colors, the font size, the background color, all of that will be left behind and we'll just get the plain text. Okay. I'm having a hard time finding my questions. Oh, there we go. I need to pop them out on my side panel. Okay, how would you send various notifications? Some people only use email, some people only phone, some just mail. With the software, a lot of the notifications are going to be sent automatically by the software. Most of them are going to be email and text message, and those are going to be listed under the template section of the website. With email, text, and print and templates, we have a list of the default templates here at the top of the screen. And all of these templates, these are triggered automatically by different actions that occur within the software. So like the account information template, this has the facility name, the customer's username, password, and the website address where they can access the facility. This one is triggered by a customer creating a new account. When they create a new account or they change their username or password connected to the account, then it automatically triggers that notice. There's also the ability of sending a message directly to a customer on an individual level. So if we had a person that we needed to email, we could go to their profile, and here under the letters tab, there's a way that we can send notices directly to this customer. So if they were past due, we could send them a past due notice and send it as an email, and that'll go just to the one customer that we have selected. There's also the ability of sending emails to multiple customers at a time. So on the send email page, you can do all of your current customers, or you could isolate just past due and then select the notification template. Or if we wanted to do a custom letter, we could type out a custom notice down here. With the notification system, any of the emails or text messages or printed letters that are generated from the software, all of those are going to be visible at the bottom of the customer's account. So if we were to send this letter to our customer and say, you are now past due, Usually you're going to have a lot more in your email, but this is just to test it out. Once you send it, it shows email has been sent. And now we can go back to any of these customers and go to their account. And at the very bottom of the account, under notifications, you'll be able to see any letters that were sent to the customer, and you can actually review the letter and see what was said.
Back to the templates, the email, text, print, and templates. When you enable them for both email and text, that is software wide. So if a customer has an email address and a cell phone number on file, they are going to get notifications both ways. If they prefer to only, if they say they only want a text notification, you can go to that customer's account and click on notification preferences. Up in the top left, click edit, and then you can remove the email portion of notifications if they're only wanting to receive text.
Yep, so once again, you're going to do your default settings for the facility on the templates page. And then on individuals, if they want to change their notifications, then you would go back to their profile and go to the notification preferences tab to make those changes. Ta-da! Oh, the notifications for the rate increases when you went over the 3 checkboxes at the bottom. Okay, so for the rate increase notifications, let's go ahead and hop back over onto that mass edit rental prices. For the rate increase notifications, they are going to be sent automatically on the notification date, and they will use the email template titled Notice of Scheduled Rate Change. So when we go through the rate increase and we select the customers that are going to be increased, the date that they're going to be increased, and the price, down here at the bottom, once we select email, text message, or printed letter and submit our changes, this batch is going to be using the Notice of Scheduled Rate Change letter. And the Notice of Scheduled Rate Change is a default template that can be modified or adjusted. But right now it's very short, sweet, and to the point. Rent for your unit is scheduled to change from this price to this price on X date. If you have any questions, contact us. Thank you for your business. This notice will be sent automatically on the notification date. So 30 days prior to their rent being updated, it's going to send them the notification. And then the software will change the price on this day so that their new invoice is coming out at the higher increased rate. The only way to section out a customer who needs just a mailed notice, and this would apply to any of the templates, the Notice of Scheduled Rate Change, the invoice reminder, you would need to select the option of printing for all of the customers included in that batch. So if you have a handful of customers that need a printed letter and the rest of your customers do not, I would suggest doing 2 separate rate increases. One rate increase where you can generate a printed letter, and the other rate increase is where you don't need to. You can just select the email and text message options. That's the best way to save paper. Otherwise, I mean, you can definitely do an increase, print off all of your notifications and toss out the letters that you don't need. But this document is going to have all of your customers' letters in one batch. So if you want to have one batch that has printed notices and one batch that doesn't, I would do 2 separate rate increases so that you can separate out which customers are doing a printed letter and which customers are not.
Under your print settings too, though, where Caitlin was just at, I mean, you can custom the print, right? And just do the pages for whatever customers you're needing printed.
Yeah, so if you decide that you want to go ahead and have a printed letter for everybody, you can go through, and when you click on print, you can specify just a certain number of pages. So instead of printing all, you can do custom pages and say, I just want to print page 7, 19, and 34. And that will only pull up the customers that are on pages 7, page 19, and page 34. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do it if you end up selecting all of your customers for an increase. Just a couple of additional settings over here that you can modify if you don't need to print all of them off. So Mary had a good question. What's the best way to recognize long-term customers having an overall rate increase for new customers or renters? Wait, let me read this one more time. What is the best way to recognize long-term customers by having an overall rate increase for new customers or renters who have rented for less than 3 months? That is exactly what the setting is designed to do on this Mass Edit Rental Prices page. So right here, if I have rent updated at least 3 months ago, then that is going to eliminate any of my renters who have rented in the last 3 months. Everybody else who is older than 3 months, they would be eligible for an increase. There's also a couple of reports in the software that show when the last time was that they had an update, and I think it actually pops up on this page once we click begin. It'll tell you the last time that a customer's rate was adjusted. Oh, whoops. Yep, right here, the date of last change. So on the report, when you pull it up, it'll also tell you the last time that the customer had a date or a rate increase or their rate changed. It might just be their actual move-in date if they haven't had a change or an increase on their account since they moved in, but it will list it right here in the report when you're going through the Mass Edit rental prices.
Regarding this, Wendy asked a question: when you use the flat rate, such as $5, will it automatically adjust the rental price by that amount, automatically adjusting the sales tax?
It will automatically adjust the rental price. And so if you have a sales tax rate that is applied to the rental price, the rate increase is going to add $5 to the before tax amount, and then the system will automatically calculate a tax rate on invoices that have a tax rate assigned to them. So yep, it's already intuitive enough that if you do a $5 increase and you charge tax, it's going to be a $5 increase before tax, and tax will still be applied automatically.
Yeah, and your next question, Wendy, about still needing to change the rates on the unit types. So this process, the Mass Edit rental, is for your existing customers. If you're wanting to increase the rate, your street rate for new coming tenants, you do have to go to unit types and edit each unit type to its new rate.
Yep, over here on the far right-hand side, there's an edit button that you can click on. The edit, the unit types page, this is where your system pulls information about your rental. So any of the standard prices or standard fees that you charge during the rental process, they should all be included here on this unit types page, including that tax rate that we discussed or any deposits and setup fees that are included. Yeah. Losing my questions tab. Whew. All right. Is there a way to print all templates so that I can view the documents that the customer sees? There is not. That is a really good question, but at this time, there's not a way to review those templates without sending them to a customer. I know that they are going to be enhancing or changing the what is it? Ability for you to see any of the printed notices that were sent to the customer. So if we go back to our customers page and we take a look at the notices that were sent to them under notifications down here at the bottom, right now, any of the emails and text messages, you can click on the title of the notice to see. In the future, our development team is going to be updating so that you can also see printed letters. That's really going to be the only place that you'd be able to see those templates with information filled in. Prior to sending them, it's just going to be a template letter with those fill in the blanks, and there's not really a way to see it until you use it. The previous rent due on, that is connected to the customer's billing history. So when it says previous rent due on, it's actually going to look at the due date of the most recent invoiced line item. So this is the previous rent. This would be the rent due on the due date. Sorry, no, I lied. This would be the due date. So the rent due on. This one right here actually doesn't have a due date. These are manual invoices. So prorated invoices, they don't have a due date because they're due immediately. They need to be paid as soon as they're invoiced to the account. But the previous rent due on is going to pull the due date from the last system generated invoice that was created and added to the account. So for this customer, his previous rent would be due on February 1st, 2021. Blue Moon. Blue Moon is really only for Texas customers. So if you're not in Texas, you don't need to worry about it. It was a document service that the Texas Self-Storage Association was previously using to use their digital leases. They've actually updated and changed how digital leases are connected to the system. So if you are a Texas customer and you want to use the Texas Self-Storage Association agreement, feel free to reach out to our support team, or you can contact the TSSA directly and speak with their e-lease department to schedule a time to have that installed in your software. TSSA does the installation and they don't really use Blue Moon anymore. So if you're still using that service, it's outdated and we do have other options, and you can give us a call to figure out what those are.
Carol, your answer to your question, if you go to your units menu and click on unit types, a recent update is that we have added images so that you can add those images as well. You just click on edit and then scroll down a little bit to the unit type photo. And right there, you just choose the size of your unit type and it will, you know, there's images there that will show.
Mm-hmm. Adam, in answer to your question about the print a template to review what it's saying, yes, that is the current way of doing it. I think Peggy was looking for a different solution or a different workaround so that she didn't have to test print it on a different customer. But yeah, that is a really great way of being able to read the notification with the information filled in. You can go to your customer's account and just tell the system that you're going to do a printed letter first, and that will let you review the information before you actually send it to your customer. Can you add your logo to the template designs? Yes, definitely. So if we go down to the email, text, and print section, and we click on the templates, in the content box, there's a little insert image. Looks like a little picture with a mountain and a sun behind it. If you click here and insert image, it will let you upload a copy of your logo. And from there, you can go ahead and select your logo and it will add it to the image. Add it to the template. I do recommend that when you add it, you put a size constraint on it. 150 pixels is usually a really good height because it'll be a nice logo that's letterhead sized at the top without being too dominant and taking over too much room on your notice. So that is a way you, when you're adding the image, you can put a size constraint on it right here with the dimensions. When you look at a customer notification, sometimes the copy seems truncated at the end. Is that on the screen, or does the customer also get truncated also? I think you're referring to text messages, if I'm understanding this correctly, because when we go back to a customer's profile and we take a look at the notifications that were sent on their account, it used to be that the text message system would only send up to 160 characters. So some of the messages do seem a little bit shorter, like this one here. We have updated that in the system, so it should send the full message. If your customer text message is longer than 160 characters, it'll just split it over as a multiple media text message. But it should have that information, all of it included, not cut off at any point. Okay, if I look at a day, what emails and texts are intended to be automatically sent? In the software, anything that you have enabled should be automatically sent, and it doesn't go off of a date. It goes off of a specific action that happens on a customer's account. So like account information, these are sent to customers when a customer registers online or when somebody updates or changes their username and password on the profile. Payment receipt is triggered by a customer or a manager applying a payment to a customer's account. So these templates are not really on a schedule so much as they are triggered by specific actions that happen in the software. There's not really a way to see what ones are scheduled to be sent out. I know that based off of the settings, we can kind of tell you what to expect. Like this facility, for instance, because they bill the customer 7 days before the due date, and they also have their reminder period set for 7 days before the due date. All of the emails and text messages will go to this customer 7 days prior to the 1st. So right around the 22nd is when they would have all of their emails sent to them notifying them about upcoming rent. Other things are like late and lien settings are triggered by a number of days past the due date. So if a customer remains unpaid on their account for longer than 5 days, they're going to get an email and a text message letting them know about being late, and also warning them about upcoming late fees if they don't pay their bill. So that's kind of a hard question to answer, but if you give us a call at the support team, we'd be happy to go over those settings a little bit more in depth with you and to show you what settings you have set on your specific account and how that's going to affect your customers when they're going to be notified. The email display name and the communication settings. So in software, if we go under email, text, and print and settings, right here is an email display name. These settings are currently grayed out on this facility for a specific reason. They don't have a vanity email set up connected to their domain. So if you're looking at our notification system, most customers are going to have default notifications set up to go through the no reply email, no reply at emailnotifications.net. If you have set up a vanity email or an email address that ends in your domain name, like Caitlin at easystoragesolutions.com, that vanity email can be set up and connected to the account so that all of your notifications come through your personal email instead of this no reply email. And if we have that vanity email set up, then you can also have a display name that will have a specific display name listed so that when the customer receives your message, it comes from the new vanity email and the new display name that we have listed here. That's something that we can set up for you over here at the support team. So if you already have a vanity email, you can give us a call and we can show you the different settings to get it connected. Or there's also instructions published right here under the under the paragraph where it says instructions to set up your own SPF record. And that'll take you to a support article that shows you how to log into your domain host provider and add in those settings. If you don't have a vanity email yet and you're interested in getting one, we do offer those over here at the support team. The cost is $49 per year, and that's unlimited storage, and it would connect directly to your domain name, and it would give you the ability of customizing this information over here. So you can definitely give us a call at the support team if you want to discuss those vanity emails or the email display name a little bit further. Can you add logos to all templates as a mass change? I wish that would actually make things so much easier, but right now it is individual. You would have to go through each template. That's a new feature that they added, so it's a recent development, and we can definitely suggest to our developers just a way to add in a logo to all templates at once. But for the time being, you would have to go individually to each of those templates and add in the logo.
For the spell check on the storage agreements, that editor does not have a spell check. I know here on the support team we use Grammarly. So as we're going through uploading people's leases, Grammarly lets us know if there are misspelled words.
One thing you can also do if you have a spell check installed on your computer is highlight your entire lease agreement. So if we go under Setup, Settings, and then click on the title of your lease agreement, you can come in here and highlight all of it and spell check from there. So there's a couple of different options, but Grammarly is really good, or using the built-in spell check if you have it installed on your computer. Okay, Janelle had asked a question. Oh, never mind. Can you add a line to the tenant for them to initial a certain spot of the storage agreement? At this time, no. We don't have a specific way for the customer to DocuSign their initials. There is a workaround that we have used over here in the support department. So on the storage agreement, if we go back, on the storage agreement, we have these wonderful little things here called placeholders. And placeholders will fill in information like the customer's name, the unit number, yada, yada, yada. We can create custom placeholders. So under customers and field settings, we can add additional custom fields. So we can say initial and date here to acknowledge that, you know, custom, and you would put whatever your question here is. Acknowledge that the customer is in the military. Acknowledge that email notifications are going to be sent to the email address that we have on file. Acknowledge that there will be a lien on personal property if the customer doesn't pay their bill on time. Anything that needs to be acknowledged can be added as a custom field, and we can create a question that your customers are required to answer. So date and initial and date here to acknowledge that all rent must be paid on or before the due date. Now that I've added this as a required field, it will be part of the online rental application. So when the customer is renting online, they will be required to type in their initials and their date to acknowledge that they read that statement. And then over here on the storage agreement, we can go back in and add in that question because it's now one of these custom placeholders. So we can insert the answers for the initial and date here to acknowledge. So that will put at least typed initials with a date that the customer acknowledged the statement. But as far as being able to have them DocuSign their initials, that is something that we still don't have the capability of doing. But we're definitely working with our development team to make suggestions on how to improve these leases and storage agreements. So if you find that that or any other features are really necessary and you want to offer some feedback to our team, feel free to give us a call over here at the support team or send us an email with, you know, the suggestions that you'd like to see and then the reason why they would make your life easier. If we have a reason and we can explain to our development team why owners are asking for these changes, it usually goes a lot farther in implementing the changes in our software. If they can understand the reason why you need it, then it gives them a little bit more of a sense of urgency to go about figuring out how to create it.
Peggy, for your question about customers who need to sign their lease agreement, if you have email addresses for those tenants, you can definitely go to the storage agreement report, and it will show you all tenants who have not signed their storage agreement. And right from that report, you can text or email the storage agreement link to them. But if you don't have an email address or a cell phone number for your tenants, then yes, your only option would be to mail that to them.
Tracy, we do offer basic lease templates. With our leases, ours are state-specific lease agreements that are, we've got the title property addendum, the storage agreement, the late settings, or the late notice and the lien notice. So there's 4 different documents that you would get, and it all comes together in a bundled service. It would be $15 a month added onto your monthly software fee if you wanted to take advantage of those documents, and then our department would install them for you and help keep them updated for the duration of you using those documents. So yeah, if you're interested in those lease options or any of those services that we have available, just give us a call and we can get that added to your account and get that installed so that customers can go online and sign that new updated document.
Yeah, and then Becky, the answer to your question, very similar to what Caitlin was just describing in creating a custom field. You could create a custom field just simply asking if the tenant is going to be storing a vehicle. They can type their answer yes or no, and that can be put into the lease agreement so that it captures whatever their answer is. We do have a lot of customers that use the software for vehicle storage, RV, boats. They will always create custom fields capturing license plate number, VIN number, all that kind of stuff that you need when you're storing titled property.
There's also a report that is connected to these custom fields. So as customers answer any of these questions, we can go back and review their answers in a report under the facility section of the report section. So if we go under reports, facility, and custom fields, we can later go back in and pull a report with all of the answers to these questions. All right, it looks like we're going to be opening it up to the additional services department here in just a few minutes. They're going to be taking over and going over some of the other services that we have included over here at Easy Storage Solutions. So if you guys have any last minute questions, anything else that you want to go over with the support team, feel free to ask them here in this thread. We might not get to all of them in this video, but we'll definitely respond to all of your messages privately and just send you an email letting you know the answer to your questions. And then the additional services department is going to take over here in a few minutes to go over all of the additional services that we offer and how those connected services can help run your business more efficiently. Our support agents are available by phone. We're here in the office tonight until 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you need to give us a call, feel free to reach out to us at 435-656-1990. That's our regular support phone number. Or you can also send a message out to support@storageunitsoftware.com, and we'd be happy to answer any additional questions. Other than that, we really appreciate everybody taking a few minutes to join us and to go over all of the settings. We do have just a few minutes available, so Andrea, we're going to go ahead and answer your questions, and then everybody else will be getting back to you in emails separately later. Looks like the last question that we're going to discuss right now is additional questions required to be filled out when the customer rents, but only required for an outdoor storage agreement. You don't want all of your new customers to have to enter the information about their vehicles, but you do want the outdoor storage customers to be required to fill in the vehicle information. So when creating the custom fields, unfortunately, there is not a way for us to differentiate between outdoor spaces and indoor spaces, or to only apply those questions to a specific unit type. What we recommend is to have a question like this: is the tenant storing a vehicle, and make this one required, and then any information about the vehicle an optional question. So the make, the model, the year, the VIN number. And we can use our reports to go back and see who answered this vehicle question and make sure that they filled in the rest of it. It's a little bit more information that the manager would have to be aware of and look up in the system just to pull that report and see if anybody maybe said yes, they're storing a vehicle but forgot to give you a license plate or a VIN number. But that's really the only way that you can kind of separate it out so that you're not requiring that information of all of your customers, but still able to identify who has a vehicle and who you need to be aware of as far as insurance, registration, and all of that other stuff. So anything that is absolutely required, like are you storing a vehicle, make that a required question, but any follow-up information that goes along with that, make it optional or just shown on sign up. Awesome, it looks like that is all the questions that we have right now. Other than that, there's going to be a couple more presentations later on this afternoon. I know that additional services is going to be taking over, and then we also have some great information coming from the marketing team, the call answering service, and our accounting department as well. So definitely stay tuned for those upcoming events that we've got later on this afternoon.
Thank you for joining, everybody.
Thanks. You guys have a wonderful night.